Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ned Bellavance, Ned1313 on Twitter, and welcome to the Daily Check-In for November 23rd, 2020. It's Monday, which is all about professional development. And what's the thing that I'm going to be trying to developing? I'm going to be trying to get that certified Kubernetes administrator certification. Wow, that's a mouthful. The CKA certification. I'm going to be trying to get that. And this is the video in which I plan out my process for preparing for that certification, why I'm doing it, where I'm starting from, what I'm going to study while I'm trying to do it, and just some general thoughts on motivation and why I take certifications to begin with. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if that's of interest to you, I hope you stick around and watch. I did want to mention, for those who are unaware, I also make this video available as a podcast. You can go to anchor.fm or just go in your favorite podcatcher of choice and you can hear the audio only version of this. I think for some people, especially for videos like this, where I'm just going to be talking, there's no flashy demos or anything like that. And maybe you just want to listen to it as audio while you walk the dog around the block or, whenever you tend to listen to podcasts. So that's absolutely an option to you if that makes sense. You can just go in your podcatcher, search for Ned in the Cloud, and it should come up right away. With that out of the way, let's check in. How you doing? It's Monday. It's going to be a short week for those of us in the United States because we're celebrating Thanksgiving. So if you are in the US and you're planning to celebrate, I hope that you have a good Thanksgiving planned. I know it's a little weird this year. It's a little funky. A lot of us are having a very small Thanksgiving. I know that I'm planning to have a much stripped down Thanksgiving. Usually I have a little over 20 people at Thanksgiving, between 20 and 30. This year it's going to be like 10. And immediate family only, people that I see on a regular basis. That's it. We're keeping it small. It's not fully canceled, but it's way pared down. So, I mean, I know it's going to be weird, but I think there's a lot to still be thankful for. And you know what? I'm thankful to you for watching these videos and helping me out. So I hope you've got a decent Thanksgiving planned and you have some things to be thankful for as well. Let's talk about Kubernetes and getting the certification. So the CKA is the Certified Kubernetes Administrator certification and exam, and it's intended for people who are going to be administering a Kubernetes cluster as opposed to those who are developing applications to run on it. And for that, they have the CKAD, which is a Certified Kubernetes Advanced Developer or something like that. So one's developer focused, the other one is administrator focused. And obviously I'm not a developer, so I'm going for the administrator one. Now, the way that I tend to motivate myself for a lot of things, whether it's a work-based project, a certification, or just a goal around the house or something that I want to do from like running or cycling, I tend to sign up for something or set a date and then work towards that goal. And that has worked extremely well to motivate me in the past. And I know that doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody is motivated in that regard. But when I have a date and I don't like anything, I don't like dates sliding on me, I will buckle down and force myself to prepare in time for that date or that event. And it doesn't matter if someone assigned it to me, like if I'm working for a client and they have a due date on something, or if it's something I imposed upon myself, I treat it the same regardless. And that's just the way my brain works. So if that sort of thing works for you, I highly recommend it. I have signed up for the exam on January 22nd, and come heck or high water, I will be ready, or at least I hope I'll be ready to take the exam on January 22nd. That's what I'm doing. So that's baselining. That's my plan, is to take the exam on January 22nd. Now, why take the CKA at all? That's a valid question. I mean, it's not like I need it. It's not like I have to have the certification because someone at my place of employment told me I had to have it, or I can't get a job without it. It's more because I want to learn more about the product, and trying to get the certification gives me a guide map and road posts for things I should be learning about Kubernetes to become more knowledgeable. The certification is kind of just a nice benefit on top of all of the learning. And by setting a date and forcing myself to learn, I actually will learn, as opposed to going, oh, I really should learn about that at some point. So I need that structure. And not everybody needs that structure, but I need that structure. So I'm giving myself that structure. Another reason is there's a lot of pontification going on about Kubernetes, and I'm involved in the world of analysts and people who talk about technology for a living. And sometimes those people have no idea what they're talking about because they've never touched the product. They've just read the press release about it. And I feel like I need to get my hands on the product and get deep into the guts to really have an informed opinion on something. And I feel like Kubernetes is one of those things. I've played with it, I've worked with it a bit, but to really talk about it in an intellectual capacity, I need to get my hands on it in depth and really know this thing inside and out. So those are the reasons why I want to get the CKA. Now, where am I coming from in terms of a baseline? What level of experience do I have today that I'm working off of to prepare for this thing? Well, when it comes to taking exams, I'm pretty good at taking exams. I'm not worried about that component of it. I don't get twitchy on test day. I've done this many, many times for other exams. So while I get like the nervous butterflies like a little bit, it's really just motivation. As soon as I start taking the test, I'm fine. I'm in the zone. I know not everybody is like that. And if you're looking for a way to cope with that, I'm probably not the best person to talk to because it's not something I've experienced. I would find someone who's had that problem and then found a way to conquer that problem and listen to them, because I don't have any good advice for you. When it comes to using Linux in the CLI, because if you don't know, the CKA is a completely practical exam. You get given tasks and you have to accomplish those tasks using the command line, and that's what you got. When it comes to using the command line, I am not a bash guru by any stretch of the imagination. I started out using Windows, and Windows is still my primary operating system. My primary CLI tool is PowerShell. That's the thing that I'm most comfortable with. But over the years, I've become more and more comfortable using stuff like bash and VI because I had to be, because I started working on projects that had Linux involved, which meant I learned how to do things in bash and in vim that I needed to accomplish a specific goal. So I do lack some of the general bash knowledge that someone who just lives and breathes it would have. So I know there's a gap there that I have to fill out. In addition, Kubernetes is kind of the same way. I work with Kubernetes every week doing documentation for a startup. But the things that I know about Kubernetes are specific to things I have to do for that startup. And anything beyond that, I kind of know. I know general concepts, I know general ideas, but I don't know the nitty gritty, and I haven't gotten into it because the job doesn't require it. So I know there are large gaps there as well. So those are the gaps that I have to fill in with knowledge, and I have to look at what the list of objectives are and say, okay, I know these things, and these are the things that I'm clueless about. So that's what I need to focus on. Now, how am I going to prepare for this whole thing? Great question. Well, I'm going to start by taking courses on Pluralsight. Why Pluralsight? Because I'm a Pluralsight author and I get to take the courses for free. So it's hard to turn down free. So I'm going to go through those courses, and hopefully there's some good exercises that go with those courses, and that will get me pretty far along the path. I also got a free copy of Learn Kubernetes in a Month of Lunches from Manning Press for doing a little bit of work for them. So I'm going to go through that book as well. I know that book is not focused on the CKA, but again, I need to fill in some of these general gaps in Kubernetes, and I think that will help me fill in those gaps a little bit, and I know it has good examples in it. Next thing is I just need to get more keyboard time in. I need to sit down and break things and fix things and tinker and see what's going on in the background and figure out how to do things in interesting ways. And fortunately, I have Minikube available. I have Kind, which is Kubernetes and Docker, and also I can spin up an AKS cluster for basically nothing. So I've got lots of things to try it out on. And lastly, there's two blogs that I'm kind of following or have helped me. One is from Jamie Phillips, and he outlined how he passed his CKA with some links and also just some general good advice. So I'm going to be following that advice, and he recommended the Udemy practice exams, which I'm going to probably end up doing once I'm finished going through all the Pluralsight stuff. And then he also recommended the Linux Academy CKA prep course, which is now over on A Cloud Guru. So if I feel like the Pluralsight stuff didn't get me there, I'll go over to that, sign up for a month, pay the $24 for 1 month of membership, and go through that course as well. We'll see. The other blogger that I follow is my buddy Chris Wall, and he has been doing Twitch live streams of learning about Kubernetes to prepare for the CKA on his Twitch channel and then documenting his findings in an open source project. So maybe I can contribute to that open source project a little bit as I prepare and also just follow along with his Twitch streams. So that's everything I'm going to do to prepare. If you want to follow along, if you're interested, my Vault certification Fridays are coming to an end. I think I've got 1 or 2 more videos in that series before I've gone through all the certification objectives and we're done. And then I have to finish the actual guide, but the videos will be done at that point. So I need something to take over that Friday. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is kind of putting together studying for CKA Friday. And I'm going to go through what I've learned in the past week in terms of Kubernetes, preparing for the CKA, what resources were good for me. And then if you have questions, like maybe we can do a live stream on Fridays or something like that. I haven't been doing the live stream, so maybe we can get back to doing the live stream. You can ask me some live questions and we can just kind of see what happens there. So if that sounds good to you, let me know down in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. It's Ned1313. And I think that's all I got for today. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and share. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe out there. Bye for now.